Hi there, Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. We are dental practice brokers. I was a dentist for 25 years and now I'm doing the dental practice brokerage for 15. So today's topic is attention buyer of dental practices. Don't be intimidated by the demanding, difficult seller. We'll get into what this is all about. Before we do, as you know, we now have 10 employees. We're in 25 states. We also have 2 CPA accountants. And we've been doing it for 15 years now, the dental practice brokerage. So we're here to assist you. We're available 363 days a year. And we only take off Christmas and Easter. So we love what we do. I'm never going to retire. And that phone is answered constantly, even when I'm on. We gave those 2 lecture cruises in the Caribbean and then the down in Bahamas. My staff was answering my phone, so it worked out real nice. Anyway, let us talk about this. So, what you're about to hear is only for informational, entertainment purposes, not legal or business advice. All right. Now, if you're thinking about, and our phone number is 201-663-0935, and our website is dentalpracticeguide.com or nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. So just give us a call, even if you just want to chat. There's no charge, or we can give you also an evaluation. Sometimes just chatting over the phone, give that to you. Now, those of you that are thinking about selling to the large DSOs, please give us a call. We work with them all the time. We know who the best ones are and who's having trouble. Often they'll pay our commission, so generally there's no commission to you. And then all practices which are sold over $1 million, all practices, based on some minor criteria, will reimburse your legal fees upon successful closing. We've done that multiple times. Now, getting on to things. As a buyer of a dental practice, occasionally you're going to encounter a seller that is difficult as far as pricing goes. They are just difficult. And you may call it unreasonable sometimes. That doesn't mean it's a bad deal. It could very well be. It's a great opportunity, but you got a stubborn seller that doesn't want to know about market value. Sometimes they want 5, 10, 15, 18% over the gross income. And the buyer may have to pay some money out of pocket, or we get the seller to hold a little bit of a mortgage. But there are doctors like that. There are sellers like that. And some of them actually have great practices and say, look, I've given this place all my life. I've given everything into this practice. It's everything I have. Every nail, every corner, every chair, every handpiece, I just given it all. And they may not be that old that they have to retire, but they would like to. Dentistry wears you down. You know, I retired when I was 49. My hands had bothered me a little bit, but I retired much younger. I never did this. Never.
In 1 mile, use the left 2 lanes to continue on I-87 north toward Albany.
I never did the PPO dentistry. It was all fee-for-service and or indemnity insurance where you get your fee. So it worked out really well. But regardless, dentistry is wearing down a lot of doctors throughout the United States. It's this PPO fees, reduced fees, it wears you down. And I understand what he's going through, what they're going through. So sometimes they do want to sell, they have a great opportunity, and they don't care about cash flow analysis from the bank, the accountants, and so forth. If you got a great office with high-tech equipment, with CAT scan and scanners and ground level, and maybe the building's available, get all that going on, could be an opportunity. And if for you as the buyer, and if it's in an area that you really
continue on I-87 north toward Albany.
Sometimes you got to think about this, that it might be worth it. to take it.
Continue straight for 45 minutes to exit 19, New York 28 toward Kingston, Rhinecliff Bridge.
It might be that it's a great opportunity for you in a specific area you want to be. If you come across these practices that are in an ideal location and ideal visibility, and the building's available, and you're in love with the building, you walk in the practice, you fall in love with the practice, it has everything you need in there, that you don't have to do renovations for 10, 15 years at all, or maybe till you retire, and you've been looking for practices for a while, and you know what you want, and all of a sudden you came upon one that's overpriced, okay? And the bank tells you, listen, we'll work with you, but we're only going to fund a portion of this. We're not going to fund the whole thing. And if somebody wants over the gross, we may or may not be able to do that, or you may need some out-of-pocket money. I think it might be worth the chance. Often they'll speak of cash flow and so forth, but always remember that they still build practices from scratch, and that's built on 100% potential. 100% potential. You have no following, you're going to start from scratch. It could be difficult, compared to one that's already established, has everything you want in it. You don't have to go through the nightmare of building plus paying the landlord all those months. And you look at everything, and it's just what you want. It's like, maybe you should pay some extra money. Of course, you've got to talk to your attorney, your banker, and your accountant. I'm just giving my opinion. But I do come across these really, really difficult financially wise sellers. It doesn't mean that's a bad person or it's a bad practice. They just want top dollar, or they're not going to retire. Even though they're a little burnt out, they're just not going to give it up. So it's a decision you have to make. I'm not telling you to pay over the market value or pay beyond what your accountants tell you is cash flow. I'm just giving you the reality. I've seen it happen. And you just make up the difference. I actually have a doctor I know that the office was grossing. They bought it like 6 months ago. Grossing. This is unheard of. I know you'll sound like it never happened. Grossing like $32,000 a month. And in November of 2024, they only owned the practice for a few months. They were doing $167,000 per month. $167,000 from 32. Yes, I know you'll say it's impossible. It can't happen. It happened to her, and she's really, or him, her, whatever. It was really something. They just did fantastic, and it is possible. So just something for you to understand, whatever. All right, I'm off to see another practice on the East Coast, and excited. This should be a nice one. Doing about 1.3 million. Somewhat more rural area, a little bit more, but not too far out of the major city, hour's drive. It should really be something special. So we'll check it out now and see what the story is. But that's what we do. We travel, we make these tapes, we make these videos, and hopefully you're learning something from it. All right, team, signing off now. Maybe we'll do another video on the way home. Bye now.